Okay, Hitendra, Maitri, good morning. Sorry, good afternoon. Good afternoon to both of you. Is I am audible to you? आवाज आ रही है मेरी? I am audible to you or not? Hiren, Maitri. Okay. So let me discuss some of the points related to. But we'll wait for 3-4 minutes or 2-3 minutes till everyone will join. Only 3 students are there. Today I'm going to discuss in deep about the use of the different symbols. What are the different symbols for related to hydraulics and pneumatics? But we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to start. Let others join in between. So, International Organization for Standards (ISO) is a worldwide federation of national standard body ISO member. The work of the this particular body is to prepare international standards, which is being normally carried out through the ISO technical committee. So that is basically the ISO committee, which will be see everyone can see this particular handout. सभी को ये handout दिख रहा है? Yes or no? सभी को ये handout दिख रहा है easily? Okay. So actually we are discussing about the ISO, this particular body, which is being responsible for the different types of the symbols which is being used for hydraulics and pneumatics. So today I'm going into the deep of the symbols. So I want that all the students should be ready with your pencil or maybe pen and the copy, because I will tell you like make this symbol, because see in the exams or any of the exams, you are having the questions like just make the symbol of 3/2 directional control valve, or maybe check valve or flow control valve. So you should be in a habit, or you should be in a practice to have the idea like how you can able to draw this particular type of the symbols. So I will tell you like just draw these type of the symbols which will be useful for you and you should know. So but before that, what is the basic principal body which is being responsible in order to just make this type of the symbol. So ISO, the International Organization for Standardization, is a worldwide federation of national standard bodies, that is ISO member bodies. The work of preparing international standard is normally carried out through ISO technical committees, and that committee, each member is interested in subject for which a technical committee has been established, and it is having the right to, to be represented on that committee. International organizations, governmental and non-governmental, is in license with the ISO. So whatever the organizations are there, whether it's an international organization and all, governmental organization or non-governmental organization, that is totally related to ISO, and that is also take part in the work. So ISO collaborates closely with the International Electrotechnical Commission, IEC, on all matters of electrotechnical standardization. So ISO, what it will do is, like, it will have the power to collaborate with the International Electrotechnical Commission, and that will take care about all the matters that is related to the electrotechnical standardization. So ISO 1219 consists of the following parts under the general title Fluid Power System and Components, Graphical Symbols and Circuit Diagrams. So you should first know the word ISO 1219, that particular rule of the ISO, or that particular thing, that consists of the graphical symbols that you can able to use, and then second part is the application of the graphical symbols in order to make the general circuit diagram. Now I'll introduce the particular thing to you. In the fluid power systems, power is transmitted and controlled through a fluid, liquid or gas, under pressure within a circuit. So as I already told you in the lecture also, if you are having a fluid power, the power is transmitted and it will be controlled through either in the form of the liquid, that is the oil, and that is called the hydraulic system, or the compressed gas, and that is called the pneumatic system. So that will be done under pressure within a circuit. Circuit diagrams are an aid to facilitate the understanding of design and description of installation, so that by having unified representations, confusion and error can be avoided during planning, manufacturing, installation, and maintenance. So you should have the circuit diagrams. You can able to facilitate the understanding of the design and the description, with the help of which you can able to do the installation, and then you can have the unified representation, and confusion and errors during that can be avoided. You can plan the things in a proper way. You can manufacture the things in a proper way, install and maintain the thing in a proper way with this type of the things. So for a clear identification of the components on the circuit diagram, a component identification code is used. Whenever you are making a circuit diagram, you should have some particular code with the help of which you can able to identify the component. Like just example, I'll say, suppose a motor. So motor is a part of the hydraulic system. So how you can able to represent the motor is with respect to a code. So the structure provided with the first edition of ISO 12192, which consists of the following levels like installation, circuit, and component. And in addition, for components, a letter for the identification of groups of components. For example, P for pumps and V for valves were used. With the publication of IEC 1346-1 to 1995, the principle of structuring of installation in accordance with the ISO 12192 was accepted. So accordingly, when this IEC 1346 was published in the year 1995, the principle of structuring the installation is in accordance with the rule that is called ISO 12192, which was accepted. But what will happen in IEC 61346 to 2000? Different letter symbols for the classification of objects are provided, and to avoid any potential misunderstanding caused by the use of letter symbols for a group of components, Letter symbols are used for the identification code of the edition of ISO 12192. Pneumatic symbols conform to and are devised from the international standards ISO 1219, 1991, and this covers the graphical symbols for fluid power systems and component port makings for fluid powered valves are not covered by the ISO standard basic symbols and shapes. So these shapes are lines are in relative proportion as shown make us the basic symbols for the fluid power system. So you can see here we are having the pumps and compressor. This I have already explained to you. This is a basic symbol of the hydraulic pump, and this is a symbol of the air compressor. Air compressor is used for the pneumatic system. Hydraulic pump is used for the hydraulic component. This is a unidirectional fixed displacement pump. So it is having one triangle on the upper side, totally filled. Bidirectional fixed displacement. On the two directions, you can able to have the movement of the fluid, and then you are having the displacement which is fixed. If you see air compressor, that is also like that. It is, now you can see in the C portion, that is unidirectional variable displacement. You can see we are having the one arrow which is there in the circle in between. You can able to vary the displacement, and you can see the air compressor also. You can able to see the displacement variable. Bidirectional variable displacement, two triangles are there, and in between that you are having the arrow. You can able to vary the displacement in two directions. Same way, same work that can be done for pneumatic with the help of the air compressor. Now motors. So as I'm talking to you about the motors, like these are the basic symbols with the help of which you can able to identify the different motors. So unidirectional fixed speed, okay, hydraulic motors and pneumatic motors. So hydraulic motors, you can see the first symbol, the arrow will be on the downward side, and the pointed structure of the arrow is on downward side. Filled, that will be showing the unidirectional fixed speed hydraulic motor, and if you see unfilled arrow is there, that will be there with respect to the air motors. Now bidirectional fixed speed, if you see two arrows are there, means two directions, you can able to use this motor. And if you see the air motor, you can have the fixed speed, but you can able to use that in bidirection. Unidirection variable speed, so you can see one arrow is there in between the, and then you can able to have the variance of the speed in this type of the hydraulic motor. This is a symbol for that. While if you see the unfilled arrow here, you can have the air motor for that. Bidirectional variable speed, you can have the bidirection, two directions are there, and then you can able to vary. While air motor, you can able to have the motors which you can able to use it in, you can vary their speed and you can have the variation in both directions. Same way for the actuator, linear actuators, like I've discussed with you in the last one also. Spring return type. So if you see this particular type of the actuator, you can able to have the to and fro motion, and with the help of which the actuation will be done. So that will be done with the help of this type of the uh, that return spring, which will help the piston to come back to the original position properly. Gravity return type, we are having the vertical cylinders and they are not having any type of the that what you call say spring, which will help it to move come out. Double acting cylinder, single rod end, and you can see double rod end. Single rod you can able to have single rotation, and with double rod you are having the rod on both sides of the piston. And then rotating cylinder. So I have explained you about the rotating cylinder, as you can able to have, as I think we have seen also, like in the case of, or maybe in the place where the construction is going on. So at that particular places, these types of the rotating cylinders are being used in a machine that is being used in order to make up a mixture of the cement and that particular other particular things which will be useful for the that particular construction work. So there we are using the rotating cylinder. So that is basically the symbol for that. And then you are having the cylinder with clutching. So what is basically the that particular value or the function of the cushioning is like, whenever the speed of any piston will be very high. And with a high speed, just like here, with a high speed, it will hit here. It will hit the wall of a cylinder. So every time the speed will be high, and whenever the piston will be hitting that particular wall at a high speed, then what will happen is that there will be a chances that that wall will be damaged after some time, and that leads to the reduction in the overall efficiency of the system. So we are having the cushioning with the help of which during the high speed, this due to that particular banging on the wall of the that particular cylinder, this can be avoided, and then you can have the speed which can with the help of which you cannot have that particular type of effect which will be controlled during the cushioning process. So this is with respect to the cushioning. So all these students, I am giving you 5 minutes. Already motors and all. Last time I made you to draw. Just draw quickly. 5 minutes. Mein linear actuators, their symbols, and then we'll come to the valves, pressure relief valve and all. ये सारे symbol draw कर लो आप लोग. 5 minutes I am giving you. Okay, Virat, कोई problem नहीं. You can join. I have given this task to all the students to just draw this particular symbols for linear actuator. So just quickly draw it. Okay, everyone has completed. Yes or no? Everyone has completed. Hiten and all. Maitri has completed. Yes. What about others? Hiten, Virat, Buran, Kevin. Have you completed this? Okay. So we'll move forward another particular thing that is called the valves. Okay. So what is the purpose of the valve is like it will be used in order to control either the flow, either the over increment of the pressure, or it may be anything. So if we see the valves, then we are having this is a symbol of the pressure relief valve. So ultimately this is being installed in the hydraulic and pneumatic system, and that the purpose is like to limit the pressure exceeding pressure beyond the preset limit. So अगर आपने कोई preset limit बना रखी है प्रेशर की आपके सर्किट के अंदर, तो उसको ये अगर आपका प्रेशर एक्सीड करता है तो ये क्या है, रिलीफ ऑफ कर देगा आपका एक्सेस प्रेशर, सो दैट इक्विलिब्रियम इज बीइंग मेंटेन्ड with respect to the pressure in your system. That is called the pressure relief valve. Then this is a pressure relief valve symbol. Then if you are having the sequence valve with reverse free flow, like अब यहाँ पे आप देखो कि pressure relief valve के साथ एक check valve लगा दिया गया, तो check valve is also the one type of the valve which is being used in order to have the reverse free flow, so that जो अब आपका flow है oil का या फिर air का वो properly maintain रहे. ठीक है, अगर एक्सेसिव फ्लो की स्पीड ज्यादा हो गई तो ये रिवर्स फ्री फ्लो पे लगा दिया जाता है क्या नाम है पैरेलल में आपका चेक वाल्व, ताकि आपका जो सिस्टम रहे वो इक्विलिब्रियमली मेंटेन रहे. प्रेशर को रिड्यूस करने के लिए अब आपका प्रेशर बहुत हाई हो गया, तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम द प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व वी आर हैविंग द प्रेशर रिड्यूसिंग वाल्व. तो मैक्सिमम ये जो प्रेशर रिड्यूसिंग वाल्व है ये न्यूमेटिक्स में यूज होता है. ठीक है, जो कि प्रेशर को रिड्यूस करता है एक्सेसिव प्रेशर अगर प्रीसेट लिमिट से ज्यादा होगी. एंड देन यू कैन हैव द अनलोडिंग वाल्व. तो अनलोडिंग वाल्व का काम क्या है, जब प्रेशर और फ्लो एक साथ इंक्रीज हो जाए तो ये क्या करता है, दोनों को कम कर देता है और स्पीड को कंट्रोल करता है, ताकि जो हमारा एक्चुएटर है अल्टीमेटली उसकी स्पीड कंट्रोल. एंड देन यू कैन हैव द काउंटर बैलेंस. तो बैलेंस जो हमारा फ्लो का है और जो हमारे प्रेशर का है वो पूरी तरीके से पैरेलली, अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें जो चेक वॉल्व की पोजीशन है वो यहाँ पे लॉन्गिट्यूडनली इसको पैरेलल में लगा दिया गया है काउंटर बैलेंस करने के लिए, ताकि जो वाल्व है वो प्रॉपरली मेंटेन हो सके. तो जस्ट मेक द सिंबल्स ऑफ द फर्स्ट, मेक द सिंबल ऑफ दिस प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व का सिंबल सब लोग बनाओ पहले अभी. एंड ध्यान रखना क्वेश्चन ऐसे पूछा जा सकता है इवन इन कंपटीशन आल्सो. आपको ये बना बना हुआ दिखेगा, ये एरो की डायरेक्शन ऊपर हो जाएगी. ठीक है, यहाँ पे देखो एरो की डायरेक्शन नीचे है, दैट मीन्स द प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व. अब नीचे आता हूँ मैं, यहाँ देखो आपका जो एरो का डायरेक्शन है वो कहाँ है, ऊपर है, रिवर्स फ्री फ्लो में. ठीक, तो हमारा अगर क्वेश्चन आएगा कि हमारा ये डायग्राम का ऊपर ये जो एरो है ये ऊपर हो गया, आपने अगर ऊपर बना दिया तो रिवर्स सीक्वेंस वाल्व में, ठीक है, रिवर्स फ्री फ्लो में ये चीज आ जाएगी. अगर आपने इसको बोल दिया कि नहीं ये तो प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व का सिंबल है तो वो गलत हो जाएगा. प्रेशर रिड्यूसिंग वाल्व में देखो आपका एरो का सिंबल एकदम हॉरिजॉन्टली प्लेस्ड है. ठीक है, अनलोडिंग में कहाँ है, ये जो आपका जो सिंबल है बनवाने का पर्पस यही है कि जब आप बनाओ ये चीज ड्रॉ करो तो आपको खुद भी पता चले कि एरो की जो डायरेक्शन है, ठीक है, ये जो वायर की डायरेक्शन है जिसमें एरो दिख रहा है, इसमें एरो बना हुआ है, ये सब कुछ बनाना इंपॉर्टेंट रहता है. क्वेश्चंस इसी के तरीके से ट्विस्ट होते हैं और आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. तो मेक श्योर, इसीलिए मैं बनवा रहा हूँ आपको, ताकि आपकी बनाने की प्रैक्टिस रहेगी और आपको बनाने से समझ में आएगा. तो जस्ट क्विकली मेक प्रेशर रिलीफ वॉल्व सिंबल एंड देन विल सी अनदर पेज जिसपे और सारे सिंबल्स Has everyone made it? सबने बना लिया प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व का सिंबल? यस और नो? सबने बना लिया? हितेंद्र, बुरहान, यस और नो? सभी ने प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व का सिंबल बना लिया? ओके मैत्री, मेक इट क्विकली so that I will put it on another page. Okay, Maitri has completed. Hiten, Hitendra completed. Okay, so let comes to the next page. Just make the symbol for this, then we'll come to the direction control valve. Make all the four symbols. Reverse free flow, pressure reducing valve, unloading valve and counterbalance valve. जल्दी से बनाओ. Okay, students, completed. Harsh, Hiren, Bhavesh, completed. Okay, Hiren and others completed. Okay, we'll move towards the DCV. So here you can see this is a check valve. Check valve में क्या है? You are having this junction and you are having this ball. So when the flow of the oil or compressed air is through this system, and when this particular ball blocks the way of that particular flow of the oil or maybe compressed air, then it will leads to the flow to be reduced, the speed of the flow to be reduced, and that in results in the equilibrium condition of the system. So that is a work of how the direction of the flow of the oil or maybe compressed air is being controlled using the check valve, which is one of the directional control valve. Then you can have this direction control valve of 2 by 2 condition, means two conditions and two ports. This is port A and this is port B. This is a flow fluid condition. This is a neutral condition where the ports are closed. Same way you are having the 3 by 2 valve. So here you can have two conditions. One is a forward movement of the flow condition where one valve is closed and there will be a flow of the fluid from, sorry, one valve will the flow of the oil will be from 1 to 2 and the flow port 3 will be closed. Here port 1 is closed and there will be a reverse flow from the flow from 2 to 3. Same way for 4 by 2. So two conditions and four ports, 1, 2, 3, 4. So forward movement and cross movement. And here 4 by 3 में एक करेक्शन है, मिस प्रिंटिंग है. यहाँ पे चार बॉल आएंगे, 1, then here 2, then here 3 and then here 4. So ये क्या है? हमारी न्यूट्रल पोजीशन है. This is our neutral position. This is our cross position, cross position, and this is a open position where the 1 से 2 और 3 से 4 में रिवर्स फ्लो होगा. यहाँ पे 1, 2, 3 और 4 में हमारा यहाँ से 1 से 3 में फ्लो होगा और 2 से 4 में फ्लो होगा इन द क्रॉस पोजीशन. तो ये 4 by 3 direction control valve का symbol. So draw this quickly and then we'll move toward the other valve. Draw this. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, कंप्लीटेड हो गया। ओके, हिरेन, नितिन, बुरहान, हो गया कंप्लीटेड। Then we'll move towards another particular thing. Okay. Now this is the type of mid centers. Like जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि 4/3 में ये इस तरह की कंडीशन है जिसमें सारे पोर्ट्स बंद हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड द न्यूट्रल पोजीशन। ठीक है, इस तरीके से आप ओपन सेंटर में देखो सारे पोर्ट्स खुले हैं, पोर्ट 1 से 2 फ्लो हो रहा है, 3 से रिवर्स फ्लो हो रहा है, और ये इंटरकनेक्टेड भी है। ठीक है, टैंडम सेंटर में आपका जो पोर्ट 1 है और पोर्ट 4 है वो कनेक्टेड है डायरेक्टली, और पोर्ट 3 और पोर्ट 2 बंद है। रीजनरेटिव में इस तरीके से रीजनरेट हो रहा है ताकि आपका जो फ्लो है फ्रॉम 1 पोर्ट टू पोर्ट 2, उससे पोर्ट 3 अलाइंड होकर कनेक्टेड है, और पोर्ट 4 बंद है, जिससे आपका जो सिस्टम है उसको रीजनरेटिव मतलब एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी मिल रही है जो जनरेट हो रही है। इसी तरीके से रिवर्स आपका अगर डायरेक्शन में है तो वो फ्लोट सेंटर होता है। एंड देन अगर आपका मान लो डायरेक्शन कंट्रोल वाल्व है जिसमें आपके 5 पोर्ट्स और 2 कंडीशन हैं, so here in the first condition, port 1 is closed, port 2, port 3, port 4, and port 5 are in, there will be a flow. Here in the reverse side, port 1 से 2 and 3 से 4 flow हो रहा है, और port 5 जो है वो यहाँ पे बंद है। So just make the made positions and the 5/2 valves fill them, and then we'll come to the flow control valve. Okay, students, completed this mid positions, कंप्लीट कर लिया. मैत्री, भाविश, हर्ष, हिरेन completed. रुद्र, ओके ओके. तो फ्लो कंट्रोल वाल्व हम लोग नेक्स्ट टर्न पे देखेंगे. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में फ्लो कंट्रोल वाल्व और बाकी जितने भी चीजों का सिंबल्स बचा हुआ है, दैट वी विल कंप्लीट इट इन द नेक्स्ट टर्न. सो those students who want to ask anything, you can ask now, or if not, you can give your attendance and you can leave the lecture. Okay, then give your attendance and you can leave the lecture. If you want to ask anything, you can ask. Okay, if everybody has given the attendance, I am going to end the meeting. Thank you.